Okay, here we go. We are live. I had a little technical moment getting into it. Hi, everybody. Welcome to First Chapter Fridays. Today, as we sell, Maze is here. I- I'm, I think it's a couple minutes after 5. Maze came in. It started disrupting my moment. It's fine. She's very soft and cuddly, so it's fine. Say hi, Maze. So we are celebrating human voices only today. First chapter Friday, Pride Month, all of the things celebrating today. And if you with a reading of Semper Augustus by Wesley Corbin. And for you, if you don't know, Human Voices Only is a campaign that celebrates human beings narrating books written by human beings. And so, all over the internet today, you'll be seeing this narrators narrating piece. I know, Maisie. I'm sorry, sweetheart. You want to go down now? Okay. Humans and cats. But humans, narrators narrating little pieces to celebrate the art of the humanity in the art of audiobook narration. So you'll be seeing that all over today. I am Since I had a first chapter Friday today, I am using this as my celebration of human voices only. I have 2 devices here, so if I'm looking, that's why. Yes, this is live on YouTube and Instagram. And as again, first chapter Fridays, these are first chapters of books that authors ask me to read for them. I am not narrating these full books, it's just the first chapter. So I'm basing what I'm doing here today based on the first chapter that I have to read. I have not read the whole books yet. I will go through. If I stumble a little bit, I'll just go back and pick it up again. If I was recording the full book, obviously I would make sure it's word for word perfect. But today is about sharing stories and sharing the art of storytelling from one human being to another. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Oh, and this chapter is actually quite long. If I read the whole thing, it'd probably be close to 50 minutes. So, I'm going to read just kind of the first part of it. It'll be probably, I think it's around like 16 or 17 minutes at the end of the day. So, we'll see. Oh, and so this is a romance. Um, and one of the really fun things, and so it's a gay romance actually for Pride Month. And one of the really cool things about this is there's some supernatural elements. For example, the narrator in for this first chapter, this point of view is actually the spirit of desire telling this story. So I think that's a really cool way. And you'll see if you read this whole book, there are, or at least the whole first chapter, you'll see that there are some kind of mythological and historical elements. Some pieces here that are not just like secular necessarily. So it's a really cool story from what I've seen so far, and I probably want to oh, hey, Ish, how you doing? Um, um, so if you wanna read this really cool book and get a little bit of, like, some mythological with your, gay romance, this could be a good choice for you. Okay, so let me grab a drink of water. We'll get into it. Semper Augustus by Wesley Corbin. Chapter 1. Cupid and I. In the quiet recesses of the heart, human and animal alike, my essence dwells as an ever-flickering flame, a force that transcends time and reason. Love, want, romance. What a magnificent tapestry I weave. The same feelings, the same emotions within the souls of mortals and immortals alike. I inspire poets to pen verses that soar on the wings of passion and painters to dip their brushes in the hues of affection. Love, what can be considered the very essence of existence, finds its genesis in the depths of longing. A longing stoked, draped in darkness, and so often flowers. Cupid and I adore flowers, all shades and hues, but pink is our favorite. Our garden, once paradise, can become overgrown. Weeds here and there, but is that unlike life itself? A life that is, in its entirety, emotionally abusive. Flowers, such joyful blossoms, were Cupid and my favorite things. They make great gifts, great presents, and in this case, they made Reece Archer exceedingly happy. A tall, somewhat lanky, but well-built young man, Reece considered himself old, but at a mere 26 was youthful. His childish bones were hunched over, deadheading the patch of peppermint-striped zinnias, while attempting to talk about those ungodly things called the cell phone. Back in my day, letters, pigeons, notes, and flowers were conversations and showcases of affections. Now it was blue, gray, and green messages and emojis that reminded me all too much of Egypt. How far has humanity come to go back to using hieroglyphics? I gave up my writing career years ago. You know this. It was doing nothing for me, Reece muttered, snipping away. The lively yet stern voice on the other end, Viola Volcanica, wasn't having it with him. Nothing? Are you crazy? It was your solace. What the hell is going wrong with you? What opium or lion's tail have you been smoking? For your knowledge, I haven't been smoking anything. He waved the garden shears in the air, raising a brow. I grow wild dagga and poppies for admiration and preservation. I ain't no drug lord. His country accent couldn't have been more evident. He was, after all, a farm boy, raised not too far away in Green Hills, a now bustling town housing a military base. He had lived in Streetcar Junction since moving from Green Hills 4 years ago. Oh, do pardon me, Mr. Herb Doctor. Viola's sarcasm sounded from his speaker. I could envision her shaking her hands at him, pretending to be frightened. My degree is in botany, Madam Musica. Pardon you, he joked back. Because being a botanist is making you poor as a church mouse. Oh, Cap, you'll make a left up here, won't you? If you get lost, so help me, Viola. Oh, you hush now. I will be there. Don't you worry, you pretty little flower petal. Cappy and I are about to hit traffic, so Cappy and I are about to hit traffic, so let me let you go. Okay, be careful, you two. Of course, sir. Capio's rusty voice responded. We shall be there within an hour or two. Much love, my dear. See you soon. Reece hung up after telling her the same and slipped his phone back into his pocket. Viola and her assistant, Capio, were going to see Reece. The garden he tended, the one Cupid and I were guests within now, too, was his. He adored flowers, and always had. Having been raised breeding lilies and sunflowers, the old family business. I suppose that is what being raised in a plant breeder family brings upon one. Reece did not have much else to fiddle with as an only child. The garden was Reece's pride and joy. Cupid played in a sizable leaf-shaped bird bath as if he were a mockingbird. The early morning sun kissed my skin as I pulled my gown together, admiring the warmth of my pale, freckled face. Reece finished his dead blossom removal and darted around the garden, cutting red and yellow sunflowers, white and pink blushed cosmos, perfume-scented red roses, and more zinnias that had not been cooked in the June heat wave. I strode around with him quietly. All of these were for a welcoming home bouquet to give Viola. Cupid, let us go. You and the cherubim. My head shook side to side. I feel as if I babysit toddlers, I called to him, standing at the edge of the archway on the warmed bricks. It was a zigzag of large and small beds decorated with brightly colored flowers. Hollyhocks in almost every shade but blue stood as tall as me on each side of me, alongside sky blue larkspur sentinels at the opposite garden gate entrance. The red and purple splotched morning glories over the arch now closed, as they despised the heat. A rustic yet fragrant facade painted in soft pastel hues of blue, green, and gray, adorned with cascading vines of ivy and climbing roses. This was Reece's flower shop, Elysian Fields, nestled onto the corner of Elysian Fields Avenue and Kowalski Street. An antique wooden door, weathered by time, stood as the sentinel that opened to reveal the floral paradise within. Cupid and I walked in. Well, more so through, since our transcendence was beyond the material realm. The interior always made me smile with its harmonious vintage charm and contemporary elegance. Wooden shelves and wrought iron racks displayed a breathtaking array of flowers, each carefully arranged like a work of art. The shop bathed in soft, natural light, filtering through lace curtains, created a warm and inviting ambiance. Elysian Fields was removed. No, it wasn't removed. Elysian Fields was renowned for its exquisite floral arrangements. Various blooms from classic roses and lilies to exotic orchids and proteas graced the shop's offerings. Reece spent no exhaustion in ensuring he and his beloved shop stayed on top of the market and carried even the rarest flowers. His passion was flowers, the love language Cupid and I remembered and adored. He did himself a winning opening the shop 4 years ago, Cupid mentioned, his tiny hand around the shop. He didn't mention. Cupid motioned his tiny hand around the shop. We were expected guests here, admiring the blossoms and Reece's exquisite touch and taste. After graduating college in Red River with his botany and science degree, Reece acquired a master's in teaching and taught English literature for about half a decade at Red River High School. As his mental health declined and the administration changed their hearts, not for the better, he resigned. A tumultuous, pained birth gave way to this flower shop. It is the center of this town. People came far and wide just for his flowers, all because of her. I pointed a soft finger to the door that bore a knock and was opening. His angel of music. "Hello, Elysian Fields!" The shop door swung open. Her voice rang like a megaphone bellowing. Her entry was grand, but lacked a red carpet. Viola Volcanica had entered the building, a lightly tanned, pale-skinned, tall, slender-framed, and big-bosomed young woman with perfectly curled mahogany brown hair down to her shoulders. Fashion was her second language, maybe after singing. And this was accentuated by the light pink floral print knee-length skirt she wore above dark pastel pink heels, pearl earrings, and a golden necklace with a heart-shaped locket dangling. A black-suited bodyguard stood outside the door as her heels clacked on the tile floor, echoing her march over to Reece behind the counter. Fixing a bouquet of white lilies, her favorites. I'm going to say that one more time, echoing her march over to Reece behind the counter, fixing a bouquet of white lilies, her favorites. Well, if it isn't the Viola Volcanica. Reece smiled as he met her open arms and hugged her for 5 minutes. "You look ravishing, my dear," Reece told her, scanning the lines of her frame. "Thank you, darling. Oh, the shop looks even better than last time. To think it has been almost a year since I have been home. That is the tour lifestyle, beautiful. I don't know how you aren't tired all the time." Reece cut stems off several lilies and placed them into the vase. "Oh, she does get tuckered out, sir." A raspy voice followed the ding of the shop door. It was Capio. "Without caffeine and a prayer, I doubt the tour would have ever happened. He chuckled. Capio had been Viola's assistant pretty much since her whole career. No one understood him. And since Sia debuted her wigs, no one questioned Capio. He was maybe 5 feet tall, enshrouded in fabric highly reminiscent of the colorful linens worn during the reign of the Inca. Capio, would you help me replace my calendula and sweet Annie wreaths? Reece asked him. Of course, sir. More than happy to aid. Sweet Annie, a species of wormwood or mugwort, was familiar across much of the U.S., and Tennessee carried large swaths of it in abandoned places and fields. Reece and Viola always grew some since it was an excellent talisman to protect a home or building from negativity and illness. The calendulas represented the sun and brought it. I'm getting a little southern, and she's not southern, sorry. It's hard when you're doing southern. It's hard when you're doing southern, and then you're not doing southern. Southern's too easy. Okay. The calendulas represented the sun and brought its shining light as an added form of protection and positivity. Reece hung them every year and always made extras to replace them. These wreaths, only the size of a saucer, were also among his top sellers. I need to make more. I've almost sold out, Reece said as he brought Capio the ladder and a small handful of dried wreaths on the counter. Online sales have skyrocketed again. You are doing so well, Viola exclaimed as she spun around the shop, her skirt twirling with her like a sparkling glitter bomb. As Capio hung the new wreaths, he muttered under his breath. He slid the old wreaths into his robes, where they vanished completely and only disappeared with the soft sound of chewing. Capio, in the pure Agatha Christie mystery he was, held more secrets than probably the government. Viola knew what he was. Cupid and I knew what he was. Well, what and who he was. She never told Reece, however. At least not yet. Not long after signing with them, Viola took a short vacation to New Orleans and Haiti. She was already a practitioner of divination and tarot. New Orleans welcomed her with open arms, much as Haiti did. She went to the mausoleum of New Orleans' infamous voodoo queen, Marie Laveau. She did not expect to run into one of the most powerful spirits who had visited New Orleans himself from the other world. Viola's destiny was well known to those of the other world, whether it was the fair folk or those like Cupid and me. Papa Legba was no exception, but he knew one of Viola's deepest desires was empowerment. Not greed, not corruption, but self-empowerment. Her trauma-filled past left her weak and lacking confidence. Impressed with her already, Laveau and Legba agreed, and after her prayers, she found an assistant on her doorstep the following day. Thank you, Capio, Reece told him as he put away the ladder. To most, Capio was seen as mute. He could speak, but only those close to him heard his voice. Shrouded in his layers, he always did, and always could, retain his identity. One Viola knew and had seen once upon his initial visit. Of course, sir. Any time. Reece grabbed the blue vase of the lilies and handed them to Capio. Wherever Viola is staying, please ensure these are not destroyed. Hey now! Viola glared playfully. She spun around and smelled them, letting out a loud sigh. I believe she has the hotel tonight, while awaiting the luggage from Tokyo. Capio speaks the truth. Viola sniffed them again, wiggling her nose. I will be at our lovely home once it arrives, which is supposed to be tomorrow. You overpacked again, didn't you? Reece raised a brow at her. I bought a few clothes from Tokyo. The best designers were VIPs at my show and insisted I take their upcoming spring collection items to wear and promote. Somewhere on a plane or ship are thousands of dollars worth of dresses, all for the Chilean Violet herself. Reece shook his head. It was a mutual trade, if you ask me, Debbie Downer, She poked out her tongue as her eyes lit up on Reese's honeycomb coffee mug by the cash register. Let's go for coffee. Brunch. A Capio. Yes, ma'am. Please take us to Hot Tin Roasters. Capio was also her chauffeur. Let me grab my wallet first. Reece rushed to the back room, grabbed his wallet, and ensured he had his phone. Viola latched onto his arm and bolted out the store like a hurricane. Her bodyguards rushed behind her, but always kept about a 5-foot distance. Hot Tin was just a block and a half away, so it was a relatively short excursion. And hi, friends. Hi, everybody. So that's where I'm going to stop today. But thank you all for coming in. Yeah, it's such a fun read. I definitely want to read the rest of this book and see where all of this is going. I'm loving uh the mysterious Capio, Papa Legba, and just the spirit of desire and Cupid hanging around. I want to know what's going on with all of that. So yeah, check this out. It's again Semper Augustus by Wesley Corbin. You can find it the paperback and the hard copy on Amazon and Barnes and Noble. And there's an ebook also on Barnes and Noble. So if you're looking for that, there is no audiobook yet, but maybe someday. But thank you so much. Thank you for celebrating human voices with me today. Thank you for celebrating narration and storytelling. And I will be back next Friday with another First Chapter Friday. I'm not sure what I'm reading yet, but I will post it sometime during the week. Thank you. Thanks, Ish. Yes, you're going to download the audiobook. When there is one, we'll get it to you. But thanks, everybody. Thanks for coming through. Have a great day. Happy Friday. Yay.